beloved. I thank you so much for your time, and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love, as well as ancestral lineage readings. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer on my Patreon, no, not on my Patreon, I also offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions, which will be once off and not monthly, but you can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon. If you'd rather join my Patreon instead, you can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out why we're spiritually led here. What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title, and why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God. Before we even tap in, I felt a sharp shooting pain in my sacral chakra, in my sacred chakra. Before I began the message, I smelled blood, all right? I smelled blood. So what I'm channeling from that is you come from a long bloodline, a long ancestral lineage, a long DNA of women in the family, men in the family who were cursed within their love life. So they would oftentimes attract beasts of women, beasts of men, animals and creatures that lived within women and men, thinking that they're angels but they're demons, or thinking that they're of a certain energy but they're not, or thinking that they stand in a certain power but they don't. It's like this is something that was done to your ancestors, those that came before you, where their love life was cursed. So because you were born into that family tree, you had to cleanse that curse by walking a different path. But that does not mean that you did not attract that same red death energy, that same curse. It doesn't mean that it didn't affect your love life because you're trying to cleanse it. You're still going to attract those people, but this time you're not going to fall for it. So let's tap into the energy here. It's like your ancestors have been in really painful situations when it comes to relationships, dealing with women, dealing with men that will take their life or threaten their life in a way that's not aesthetically pleasing, but in a way that's life-threatening, scary as hell type of energy, okay? Not in like, oh, you love me that bad, you'll take my life, like, not like that at all. Like men and women, that became obsessed when they were in relationships with those that came before you, right? Your ancestors. They have the same testimony. They've walked the same path. They've dealt with the same spirit in a different body. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. Like they would get into relationships with people, but that spirit will follow them because the experiences within the relationships would be the same. Just the same energy in a different body. They would always go through the same thing until they gave up on love, or at some point they never believed it was real. So you are your ancestors' wildest dreams because you are the one with the cleansed heart that is coming to live a different life here, right? So you're not supposed to be going through this curse Your love life is not supposed to be cursed. You are meant to be in love, be in a marriage, okay? We have the Page of Pentacles. But first, they want me to tell you, they want me to make you understand something here. Okay, the ancestors are coming through. It's almost like if you take, yeah, we have the Knights of Cups. If you take if you let's say you have a baby, right? They're fragile, they're vulnerable. Let's look at that as an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example. Take for instance a baby, and this baby is in, they're a baby, and what happens every time anyone sees a baby, it's like, look at them, it's so cute. Oh wow, so cute. It's like babies have that effect on people. Where it's like you just like, so cute, it's like you just can't help it because it's just like, oh, you're so cute, type of thing. So coming back to the generalization of this message, this curse that was cast over, your bloodline, your ancestry lineage, your DNA, it was to ensure that no man, no woman looks at you with eyes of love. Let's take, for instance, that going back to that same analogy, that same reference point, that same case study and example of a baby. Imagine if babies didn't have that effect, that had the opposite effect. It's like, get this thing away from me. It's like, oh my God. That's not how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like a curse. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not supposed to be like that. But that's how it is because of a curse, right? So your ancestors, they dealt with men, women that never loved them, never could. It's not that like they weren't lovable. They never could because of what was hovering over them like a dark cloud, right? That red death energy. It's like a red apple. Yeah, the love is reversed. They would be in relationships, they would try to fall in love and all these things, but it would end in tragic endings. Like, it would just be tragic. Like, entirely. It's like situations where they would actually reflect and be like, how did I miss this? How did I not see your darkness? How did I not see your hatred towards me? How did I not see the snake in you? How did I not see the fox? How did I miss this about this person? Because of how tragic things would end. It'd literally be the saddest thing, and they'd have to pick up the pieces and do it again until, at some point you realize what you're doing is like not causing any change in your life. So I'm being drawn back to, that sharp pain again in my sacral chakra. And it's symbolic, and I'm being called to speak on the symbolism of why I'm experiencing a sharp pain in my sacral chakra. So what I'm seeing here is that, based on bloodline, based on DNA, based on ancestry lineage, your womanhood, your manhood, right, your sacral chakra is very like addictive is what I just heard. So audiently, I just heard addictive. It's like, because your ancestors weren't able to be loved, and at the same time they had this gift of their own womanhood, their own manhood, their sacred chakra was very addictive. They would experience abusive relationships because the man could not love her but wanted to sleep with her. And what was that? There was a fine line that can be crossed in that situation. Same with the man, right? You know, it was always like that. We have the Star. So what I'm seeing here is, because now you're in a chapter, an era of life where you're cleansing your bloodline, you're cleansing your DNA, you're cleansing your ancestry lineage. It's like you're walking a different path than they did. Hence I said you are their wildest dreams. Like they wish, like literally, and they're seeing you live out their dreams. You know, they see you live out what they couldn't, you know, who they couldn't be. They also wanted marriage, like they also wanted relationships, you know, they also wanted to be loved but never could be. And it was something they missed out on in their lifetime, and they're hoping that they can bestow you with the same gift that they never could experience. They want you to have someone, like your ancestors want you to have a good man, a good woman. They want someone to love you. They're more so concerned about the love in your life. They're not concerned about your material possessions as much as they're concerned with the love that you receive in life. Because even with or without the material possessions, the love remains. So they want you to bask and embrace that energy, because they want it to be all around you, no matter what your circumstance is. Love your job, even though you had a terrible morning, you know, getting up and going to work. Or love yourself, even though you're going through chaos and you're facing all these things that you have to take responsibility for in your life. You know, love, you know, there's that energy around you of love that they want to instill in your reality and keep there. You know, despite everything of the world, they very much dead set on a mission to ensure that you realize that love is the only thing that matters. Because they've lived a life of pure horror. Like, imagine a man not being able to love you, but they can't get enough of your sacred chakra. They can't get enough of your sacred energy, but they have no clue how to love you. They just don't have it in them. Pure hate. When they look at you, just disgust them. And it's not even real. It's the curse that was placed over the person, over your ancestors. Same with the man trying to love a woman, and the woman just can't ever see them for anything except like, oh, you know, down there they know what they're doing. But the man is looking for something real. Sad, like they had to live like that until they passed on. Passed over, judgment reversed, and they don't want you to suffer the same fates. They don't want that to be your destiny. Hence they want to bring in someone who's going to love you and love you right, somebody that's going to take you out of this curse and ensure that you never go back in, because you have a cleansed, you know, bloodline, a cleansed DNA, cleansed family tree. You know, you can start over. They want to give you that rod, they want to give you that staff, they want to give you that gift, that anointing. They want to pass that down to you. They've worked so hard to ensure that you never attract someone that's going to take you out of your element, so that you are in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit when you experience this love, right? Like your ancestors are very adamant and like precise about the way they want you to live, because they want you to be healed even through the adversity, the obstacles, the turbulences, the stress, the issues, the problems of life, and whatever it is you face within yourself. They still want you to be okay. So they want to give you love to show you that that's all you need, right? So in this instance as well, they've learned a harsh lesson of life over their own lifetimes that they've existed, and they really dead set on getting it right this time through you into their wildest dreams. Okay, so you are who you are, and this cleansing comes with what it comes with, the cleansing of the heart, right? To attract in pure love, you had to cleanse, right? And that's what's coming in for you with the Hierophant. Like, you are literally meant to be in a relationship, happy, content, in love, healthy, whether you and your man got bills to pay and it ain't billing at that time, they still love, it's real. They're not gonna leave you because you ain't got this and that, or you look like this, and your wig ain't right, or your money ain't right, or your car ain't, like, they won't care about that. That's that kind of love you are calling in by being cleansed within your heart, okay? Because it takes that for you to be able to manifest this, right? Some people never get to experience love their whole entire life. They don't know what love is, like your ancestors. So they understand. So when they see you living your life, that's why they're so adamant and straightforward and dead set on seeing you be in love, because they've seen the opposite of that. They've lived in horror, and they don't want you to ever touch that energy. They don't ever want you to be cursed. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. In this world filled with superficial people, superficial hearts, they want you to have a heart of depth, meaning, sentiment, right? A heart of compassion, a heart of truth, a heart of dignity, morals, a heart of integrity, We have the Tower. So they had to start over with you. And to start over doesn't mean it's an easy journey, or it's never meant to be like that. You're doing something that's never been done. You're living in something that's never been experienced. In your bloodline, your DNA, your ancestry lineage, it's never ever happened before. Ever, like literally. So you are the first of your kind in your family tree. And whatever comes out of you, whether you birth a seed, all right, or a seed is planted in you, it's gonna be different. Your son, your daughter, they're gonna be cleansed as well. So you're not doing it just for you, right? Just like the story of Abraham. He told the story and wrote it down in what we refer to as the Bible. So you're living in his walk, his path, his journey of life, where he also had to make a huge sacrifice and, an offering to cleanse. And that sacrifice, that offering that you made, was for you to remain in your heart in a good way. You had to heal. And in a world filled with this much pain, it just shows that healing is not an easy thing to do. It's not easy, just because it can be done. So because you did it, you took the path less chosen, you broke the curse. There's no red death, even though it was cast over you. It doesn't exist, at all. You don't wear that over you. It's not on you. You're not cloaked with it either. It doesn't exist. It's like it only exists to those that came before you. You will leave a different mark. And your ancestors are very proud because they put in that work to help you through that. They were the ones, sending you those signs and synchronicities, leading you to those paths and leading you to those people so that you get your healing. Exposing you to those environments and doing things just so you heal. They just want you to be okay. They want you to be okay so that when you are in love and you experience love, you can fully be in it. Like you can fully just live in it. And not be, not be deprived of what you are destined for, what you're fated for. So many people don't ever experience love. It's all just conditional based attraction. Oh, I like you because you look like that. Conditional based attraction. Oh, when your hair ain't like that, I don't think you're attractive. Conditional based attraction. Well, you don't drive that car, you don't have a car. Oh, conditional based attraction. Having no clue that person can be a healer of a man, a healer of a woman, but you're just concerned about how fat that ass is or how long that stick is. It blinds you. It's the matrix. You're not supposed to fall into that path. They make sure, if you take a look at your life, they want you to address and reflect your path of life when it comes to your love stories, right? when you thought, oh, I'm gonna get into a relationship, oh, I'm gonna be in a, they want you to reflect on the type of people you've attracted or were attracted to and why, and where it got you, and how you had to do it again, start over, and how within all those relationships you carried good intentions, had a good heart. You didn't realize it then, but you were doing yourself justice by being like that, because you are now able to call in what's actually real. While those same people that might have betrayed you or wronged you or backstabbed you or cheated or lied, however way, they now will never get to experience what love is, even if it's staring them right in the face. Because you were once there, you presented yourself to them with love, and they just... We have the sun. It's time for you. It's time for you. You are the one that's going to raise the vibration, raise the frequency, raise the wavelength in your reality, in your life, in your world, and in your family tree, in your bloodline, your DNA, your ancestry lineage. You are the change, okay? 555, you are the change. 222, it's justice for things to be like this. They were tired of living the same reality and experiences. They really wanted love but never could have it. Instead, yeah. Never again is what they're saying. Never again. That's what, you're going to begin to see all the people that you've been connected to in terms of relationships or love at the time of what you thought it was, or, whatever of the past you considered to be, oh, this is what I want from us. They're going to put you through a season of your life where all those people are going to want you back, because they're going to realize what they've let go of. Because you are going to be in a certain power of your womanhood and manhood, that not just them that they're going to see, but everybody's going to see it, including the one that's actually meant for you. Take no one from the past back that you've been with. Take them nowhere with you, because those are just curses. Because why couldn't you see the love when it was in front of you to begin with, bro, sis, So when it's gone, it's gone. You are just a lesson to them that you don't know what love is. They don't know what love is. That's the lesson. You'll never know. They'll never know. They'll never feel it. Imagine. All that will be within is, oh, I'm going to pretend to like her, date her, and break her heart. Oh, I'm going to pretend to like him, date him, and break his heart. That's what people be living, missing out on true, real, authentic, original love. That kind of love that, it seems to not exist anymore. That's the energy you're in. It's a new walk, new paradigm, new reality, new path, new journey of life. Your ancestors' wildest dreams. Yeah. We have the Page of Wands. And then we have the Eight of Cups reversed. So, you're living in a different energy now. One which your ancestors had never experienced before. They're going to watch you be in love and be happy, be married, be in a healthy relationship, be in a committed structure of a bond. And they're just going to be there, happy to see it happen. That's all. Literally. They want you to be in love. They want you to heal so that you can experience the love in its truest form in your heart. Hence, they're going to push you to heal and have pushed you to heal for so long over the years of your life. They never wanted you to fall into anything outside of just healing. Even in what you were going through, they wanted you to make it out of it and always understand that it's not on you. All right? With the Five of Wands reversed, you don't need to feel like it's you versus the world because you've been done wrong or backstabbed, lied to, or cheated on. No, understand that it was not your fault. how are you going to blame yourself that another person doesn't know what love is? Even if they see it and experience it from the outside, they'll never understand because they don't hold or house that energy. They're very far away from that. They're in other energies. Hence, they couldn't even give you what you want. We have the devil reversed, and that's not on you. You can't carry another person's cross or demons that have nothing to do with you. They don't belong to you. That was just to teach you, to show you how life works. And in the end, when it's all over, you are meant to appreciate yourself and understand that there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours, no matter what seems to be, no matter whatever. There's no such thing. Okay? I thank you so much for your time, and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. If you're keen on becoming a member of my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love, as well as ancestral lineage readings. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions, which will be once off and not monthly, and you can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it will lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.